In this video, we're going to discuss the latest Digimon movie, Digimon Adventure Ode to the Beginning, directed by Tomohisa Taguchi, who made his debut with Last Evolution and is now repeating. The story centers around the difficult life of Louis Owada, a 4-year-old boy who is not treated well by his mother, who is also taking care of Louis's father, who is in a vegetative state. They have no money, and Louis has no friends at school. All in all, a series of elements dedicated to causing the general public to easily shed a tear. On top of that, Louis's birthday is on February 29th, which only comes around every 4 years, and on that same day when Louis was 4 years old, he met Ukamon, who claims to have a connection with a higher being, probably homeostasis, and who can grant wishes thanks to that connection. On Louis's next birthday, when he is 8 years old, he expands his wish to have friends who will protect him, to include the wish to continue having Ukamon by his side, to protect him, and together they will make more friends from all over the world. This is the starting point for Digimon and humans to form partnerships, although it is not clear if this is the only reason, as it does not fit with other data, such as Tailmon already looking for Kari before that. Therefore, the consequences of Louis's wish would also be the events of the Armagimon and Omegamon confrontation as a result of Louis's wish for more friends like them in the world, which is why Ukamon would have brought these Digimon into the real world. Ukamon alters Louis's parents, manipulating them like puppets so that they are kind to Louis, and that the father awakes from his coma. When Louis realizes what is happening, he breaks the Digivice with a baseball bat, but it hits him in the eye, and that's when Ukamon gives him his eye. Louis tells Ukamon that he will never be able to make him happy as he desires because Ukamon does not understand his true wishes, and Ukamon's only existence was based on being by Louis's side. Deprived of his reason for being, Ukamon melts away and disappears. After that, Louis moved in with relatives and now lives alone. But today is February 29th again, his birthday, which is why that large Digi-egg has appeared on top of the Tokyo Tower. Ukamon still wants to congratulate Louis, who, with the help of the other chosen children, decides that he must talk to Ukamon, who is now Big Ukamon, and has Digi-eggs for all the children in the world, following Louis's wish. Those Digi-eggs would serve to grant companions to all the 7 million children in the world, in a forced way, although all these bonds are forced, as we have seen, although in the end the children change their minds and thank their companions. It is also said that it is due to Louis's wish that the number of chosen children doubles every year, currently being about 60,000. When Louis enters Bigukamon and sees his memories again, Louis interacts with them, talking to his mother and asking her to listen to her son because he loves and needs her, and that causes Ukamon to appear that night when Louis is not punished, outside on the balcony to meet him. But the current Louis talks to Ukamon, and they conclude that Louis's complaints that Ukamon did not know what he liked make no sense because it was Louis who never bothered to get to know Ukamon's tastes or anything about him. They agree that they should have told each other everything they didn't like about the other, and now they have to start their friendship from scratch. And to do that, they have to defeat Big Ukamon because there had to be some fight scene in the movie, otherwise it wouldn't be Digimon. And so Ukamon is reborn as a Digi-egg, and with its death, the Digivice of all the chosen children around the world disappear, as they are no longer necessary to maintain the bond between Digimon and humans. The Digivice represented the bond between Digimon companions, but they are no longer necessary, nor do the programs unite them, but their desire to be together. And so we take one more step towards the definitive ending in which they are together, regardless of age or anything, because there are no more digital devices or rules for their relationship. Louis has lost an eye, but has gained a true friend. In reality, although at first it may seem like a dramatic story with unnecessary and gratuitous suffering, it was the missing link to explain an ending that is getting closer and closer, and that does not raise doubts or extra inconsistencies as happened with Digimon Tri. In short, Ukamon was not evil. Louis, due to his hard life, had also taken advantage of Ukamon by asking for wishes without considering that Ukamon also had feelings. But in their last encounter, when Ukamon asks him what he wishes for, now he says nothing, as it should be. So the moral of the story is, be careful what you wish for. because it might come true. So to summarize, the past is not changed, but a sort of simulation of their memories is projected inside of Ukomon. The concept is original without introducing time travel, which always causes confusion. It is worth noting the cameos of the chosen children from around the world, from O2, as well as moments of complicity between Ken and Yolei, something that was lacking because they had explored those moments between Kari and Takeru. But it was necessary to build the story between Yolei and Ken, who will eventually get married and have children, of course. As a point in its favour, the movie could not start better, with Ravel's Bolero setting the rhythm of the new events, with the giant Digi-Egg and the reactions of the chosen children, including the international ones who appeared in Digimon 02. Next is the original theme song of the series, sung by Koji Wada, while we see how our protagonists have grown, interspersed with Louis' memories. The introduction ends with the main chosen children of EO2 entering the ramen restaurant where Davis works. Although there are no new evolutions, the already known ones have evolved at the same pace as the graphics and special effects have over the past 20 years. Although, being honest, I still prefer the original animations. These new ones are more in anime style, but it's clear that what you see as a child marks you forever. Another nostalgic moment is the scene from U2 in which everyone gathers in the computer room. It seems that Digimon is following the path of the horror genre, so to speak, after the relative success of Digimon Survive and Digimon Ghost Game. Louis' story is terrifying, difficult to watch literally in some moments, although not much more than the events that were seen in Tamers. We have to admit it, proportionate to the unpleasantness of his story is its originality. Davis still takes the spotlight as the unquestioned main character and leader. In the beginning, he enrolls in a vocational school and initiates a rental business within the ramen restaurant where he works part-time. Davis's unflagging enthusiasm in pursuit of his dreams keeps us captivated. The fact that Digimon characters have deep emotional issues, as we all do, is something that has always been present, and therefore in this release it should not alarm us. Although the cruelty and intensity have never been so explicit in their animation series. In fact, these problems have always served to advance the plot and evolve the characters as their Digimon do, in a way that no other similar franchise has dared to do. In Digimon Adventure, the young protagonists face personal issues, particularly challenging family relationships, before heading to summer camp. For instance, Sora Takenouchi has a strained relationship with her mother, while in the digital world, she becomes the mother figure of the group, partnering with Biyomon, even though they initially clash due to their contrasting personalities. However, they learn to trust each other, and this transformation helps Sora confront her mother. These parent-child dynamics make the characters more relatable, offering a way for the young protagonists to evolve in the series. The digital world serves as an escape from their real-life traumas and a place to mature and grow. It helps them process their emotions and cope with their difficulties. The theme of the eye is widely used. For example, it reminded me of Tsubasa Chronicles, where Shaoran, the clone, has an eye that corresponds to the original, which he uses to monitor his movements from his confinement, and later replaces it when he loses it with the eye of a magician, which is blue and where the power of his magic resides. By possessing this living element of his partner, and this always lives with him, whether he likes it or not, and it is a macabre element that adds to this new direction of Digimon towards horror. Yes, at first it shocks, but it is really as if it is not as spine-chilling compared to similar elements that we have already seen in Ghost Game. And finally he is left without an eye, but the fact of having lost it was the result of his anger when he broke the Digivice, instead of talking things over with Ukomon. The message is clear: all the children of the world must have a Digimon partner, a friend. And that precisely is halfway to the ending described in the last chapter of Digimon 02 in the year 2027, 15 years after the current movie, which begins on February 21st, 2012. This sequel to Kizuna is more optimistic in terms of recovering the lost Digimon companions, as the possibilities are endless, regardless of anything else. Aside from that, the resource of the Digimon that commits despicable acts but not knowingly and with good intentions is quite seen in the franchise, mostly in Ghost Game, mainly due to ignorance and normally with a real lack of bad intentions, although their actions really left no room for doubt. They were not what their companion desired. Sometimes humans must be unhappy in order to learn, to progress in life, or simply to accept reality, such as the death of a loved one, something that they have always wanted to make clear. There is no return after death, both in Ghost Game and in multiple animations. Those who are brought back to life are described as zombies. That is, their soul has really already departed and is irrecoverable. Louis was the first to have a Digimon partner, but bonds were already a possibility and will always be that way, even though some bonds are more favourable than others. For example, in Survive, where a human companion did not treat his Digimon very well, leading him down the wrong path, not only for his Digimon, but with negative consequences for himself. It is like life itself. The possibility of having friends, a partner, and any personal bond is always available, whoever was the first. And regardless of the result of those that exist, some will be better than others. Regarding the bonds between humans and Digimon, it has always been implied that it was a forced union, as from the beginning in Adventure, almost no child was open to even recognizing them as friends, but none of these digital monsters ever gave up. We have also seen some cases to the contrary, such as Jury and Leomon, and carried to the extreme in Survive, where this undesired union leads to a catastrophic end for both if it is not resolved in time. But there are no Digivice or crests in Survive. This union is not actually tied to the Digivice or the crests, as we have seen before, when a Digivice is broken, for example, due to a dark evolution. This does not mean the end, although these are later repaired when the pure bond is re-established. And in this case, it is precisely the opposite that is understood. By breaking the Digivice, a powerful message is sent that a bond is not represented by anything material, but an imperishable feeling within our souls. This is why there is hope of saving the bonds with the Digimon that were broken along with the Digivice in Kizuna. Nothing or no one is needed to validate their union. As long as they themselves believe in these eternal bonds, it should be enough. An important problem, in my opinion, are the usual loose ends. They raise new questions that remain unanswered and do not solve the existing ones, not to mention that they have completely ignored the facts that occurred in Kizuna, barely mentioning the lives of the chosen children like Tai and the others, who had already lost their Digimon in the previous feature-length film. Alright folks, time to face some of the negative takes on this movie. Critics say the plot is as thin as a ghost silhouette. They think it's not really adding anything worthwhile to the franchise, just a pinch of drama here and there. But hold up, there are some redeeming factors. Firstly, the movie's sticking true to the original series timeline like a loyal dog to its owner. Plus it ain't messing with the evolution styles or lines, which is a major plus. So yeah, there's some positive points too. In conclusion, we could say that as a sequel it advances a bit in the plot, focused on the final end in 2027, as well as not being too focused on explaining to us how the chosen children from O2 live compared to how they were described in Kizuna with the characters from the first season. So the only thing that really sticks out here is the idea that everyone should have a Digimon partner. This idea was established in the ending of O2, and it seems like the movie is hinting at it. It's possible that the writers have another sequel in mind, the final one, and that it could premiere around 2027. In a way, this might be setting the stage for that eventual climax, even if this movie wasn't the most satisfying on its own.